Good evening, everyone. Good evening, good evening.
Good evening.
And welcome.
Good evening, ma.
All right, please let me know if you are here, if you can hear me clearly. Can you hear me clearly?
Yes, I can.
Okay.
Yes, I can.
All right. You're welcome to Help My Teen is in Love webinar. You're all welcome once again. Please, as you come in, I would like you to introduce yourself. Just tell us where you are joining us from. Okay. Let us know where you're joining us from on the chat. Let us know your name. Let us know your location. Where are you joining us from? All right. Faith from Kaduna, you're welcome. Favor Joshua from Port Harcourt, you are welcome. Miracle from Kaduna, you are welcome. Isabel, good news from Lagos, you are welcome. Master Victor from Port Harcourt, Queen from Imo State, wow, you're welcome. Mr. Debayo from Ogun State, you are welcome. Smith Caroline from Osun State, you are welcome. Fumi Williams from Lagos, you are welcome. Madam Nice Lady from Onitsha, you are welcome, ma'am. Tabare Faith from Delta State, you are also welcome. Welcome everyone to this wonderful webinar. I know that we're all going to have a great time. So now that you have introduced yourself, I would like to also introduce myself. I will not be able to go, to see everybody's introduction and be able to call out your names. But I think we can go into the reason why we are here. All right, so let me quickly introduce myself. Now that you have introduced yourself, let me introduce myself as well. My name is Mercy Oluwadamilola Ajadi. I'm a certified youth and family life coach by World Coach Institute, USA. I'm a graduate of the Rhema Bible Institute, Oklahoma, affiliated to Nigeria. I'm also a certified associate practitioner of family systems engineering and a medical laboratory scientist by profession. I'm the founder of Crystal Brookside Solutions, a human capacity development organization committed to building youth, parents, and families for maximal growth and effectiveness. I'm quite passionate about young people, and I have been involved with training them and mentoring them for more than 10 years. Please, can you mute yourself? Can you mute yourself so that we can have one class? I'm happily married and a mother to 3 amazing trailblazing personalities. So like I said, you are welcome to Help My Teen is in Love webinar. And today we expect that at the end of this webinar, you are going to leave with the following objectives. These are some of the things we have in mind to share in this webinar. Please, can you mute yourself? All right. So the objective of our webinar today is understanding how and helping teenagers navigate love and relationships. Our key objectives, and we believe that by the end of this webinar, we are going to be going away with these 4 key objectives. Number 1 is to explore the emotional landscape of teenagers, to discover how to tackle external influences, peer pressure, and social media. At the end of this webinar, we are also going to be able to know how to build healthy bonds and boundaries. We are also going to understand healthy channels for love and relationships. You will understand healthy channels for love expression, rather. Please, if you can still hear me, I would like to be sure that you are hearing me.
I can hear you, ma.
You can hear me, okay.
Yes, I can hear you, ma.
All right. So
Yeah,
I will,
we can hear you.
before we all right, thank you very much for your responses. Before we continue, I would like to take us down memory lane. I want to find out from you, what challenges did you face as a teenager? And I want you to write this in the chat box. What challenges did you face as a teenager, or what challenges were common to you in your own time? That's the first question I'm asking you. And the second one is, how old were you when you experienced your first love interest? The third question is, did you tell anyone, and how did you handle it? Did you handle it well? I know that all of us that are here, we were once upon a time teenagers. So I am taking you down memory lane. So please get into the chat box and let us get the responses, your responses to these questions. I'm waiting for your responses, please. What were your challenges? What challenges did you face as a teenager? Or what challenges were common to you? All right, somebody is saying low self-esteem. Okay. Who else? What were your challenges? Okay, someone is saying the challenge I face is that I was not understood by my guardian. I could not discuss freely with them. Very common. Someone says peer pressure, low self-esteem and peer pressure, bully and rejection. No one to talk to, very common. Please keep it coming. Not outspoken. That was my challenge too. All right. Not being understood by my parents, very common as well. Keep it coming, keep it coming. How did you, okay. Growing up without my parents, wow, that must be a huge challenge. Low self-esteem, lack of someone to open up to. Beautiful. So let's quickly move to the second question. At what age did you experience your first love? At what age did you experience your first love? Somebody say fear, no one to open up to. I was 14 years, wow. And you told your friend, she encouraged you and all of that. Wow. You were 19, 17, 14, 16. I lost my mom at a very tender age, almost went into depression. Wow, so sorry about that. 16, 12, 22. You told no one. All right. Good. 15 years. It was a secret affair. Yes, usually it's a secret affair. All right. So from what we can see that many of us experience teenage challenges that are common to teenagers, and we also experience our first love. Can I let you know that why some of us are saying 22, 14, today in our time and age, we are having teenagers who are experiencing their first love as early as 9, as early as 6. In fact, I think I saw 3 years old not too long ago. And the girl was telling her mom that she has found her love, that she's in love with a boy in their class, 3 years old. So you can understand that. All right, so let me share my own experience with you. Let me share my own experience with you. So as a teenager, I grew up in the southeastern part of Nigeria. And we lived in a middle-class neighborhood. We live in those kind of compound that you would describe as a yard. Yard in the sense that it was quite big, had different blocks of 2-story building, 1-story building, and all of that. So we had a large number of teenagers growing up in that space. And I witnessed all manner of teenage vices. Trust me, they were huge. From truancy to teenage pregnancy to teenage dating, which were usually done in secret, to theft, to poor academic performances. I experienced a lot of those vices in my neighborhood. And now I attended a public school, and it was as if everything that I experienced in my neighborhood was the same thing I experienced in the public school. These vices were enormous. It was so bad that it was as if teenagers just leave home, go to school without the focus was not to learn. The focus was just to be engaged in one vice or the other. We had students that will come to school, and they will come to school with their muftis. And their intention is to, bribe the gate man, get out of the school premises and go attend some other events of interest to them, many times parties and all of that. So that was the kind of neighborhood I grew up with. And I had a very strict father. And I can remember his instructions vividly. So at that time, many of his instructions bordered around, do not have boyfriend, boys are only interested in sex, ensure that you keep your virginity, focus on your academics, don't mingle with people are bad, and all of that. So I held on to every instruction that was coming from my dad. They were sacrosanct to me. But during my senior secondary, I decided to just try out the boyfriend thingy and see how it goes. And lo and behold, 3 months or so down into that relationship, the guy asked for sex. I refused. And when I refused, he decided to take it by force, and I ran for my dear life. After that experience, I didn't have any other one until I got into uni. In my 3rd year in uni, I got another boyfriend. Sorry, not in my 3rd year. I think it was either 1st or 2nd year. I got another boyfriend. And I continued thinking that was going to be different. Eventually asked for sex again. And there and then I concluded that my dad was very right. So as far as boyfriend and girlfriend were concerned, sex is on the top of their list. So I decided at that point that I wasn't going to have anything to do with boyfriends again. So I focused on my life and got born again, and then really got serious with God. So along the line, I got engaged by my 3rd year. Yes, very serious, getting ready to get married. By my 4th year, I was served breakfast. So that relationship dissolved and we went our separate ways. So I've said all of that to give you just a little background about my own upbringing. And growing up into adulthood, becoming an adult, I had this strong passion for young people because I saw a lot of what young people could expose themselves to and how it hurt them so badly. And, it made me to make up my mind that I was going to do everything I could to just ensure that this did not happen to them. Please, can you mute yourself? Can you mute yourself, please? If you have watched this video to this point, kindly hit the subscribe button and subscribe to our channel. Also remember to like, share, and drop your comments. Thank you. All right. So I had that passion to, because every time I see young people and they get engaged in these vices, which were quite destructive, I always tell myself that there is a better way. I know as a teenager, I know I tried out those boyfriend thing, but I could say that I could rate myself as a good teenager. Do you understand? So I felt that you can be a teenager and not be a foolish teenager. You can be a teenager and still be able to have a sense of direction and purpose. And you don't need to engage in all of these vices before you can, just to feel belong. So it became a really strong passion for me, because even while I became an adult, looking around me, I could see teenagers still engaging in those vices. So my first message to these teenagers bordered around love and relationships. And I created a course, a teaching around it, and I took it to schools. And I taught it like with every passion that was in me, because I wanted teenagers to, get it right. Now, it's very important for us to understand that love and relationships, they are common interests for teenagers. As I speak to you today, if your child is in primary school or secondary school, the truth is that they are in love. They're either thinking of how to be in love, or they are in love, or they are planning to be in love, or they are by the sideline watching and wondering when it will be their own turn, or trying to make sense of everything about love as it were. But do you know that teenagers desperately seek love, and they seek love from the wrong places, from the wrong people, and at the wrong time? And what gives me a lot of concern is that a lot of the decisions that teenagers make borders around the wrong concept about love and relationship. And the consequences of these love experiences can be quite huge and worrisome. It ranges from teenage pregnancy to increased rate of suicide, single parenting, poor academic performances, depression, and so much more. And the psychological and emotional pain that comes from this trauma, from these experiences, are quite huge to bear. So working with teenagers for more than 10 years, I came to realize that there is need for us to teach them love and relationship education and guide them as they walk through these uncharted territories called love and relationship. Because if we don't do so, it's going to affect them hugely. It's very important that we start early, because when you look around you, like I said, a lot of things have changed. When it comes to love, romantic interest, is no longer, children don't even get to become teenagers before they start having those feelings and experiences. So it's something we really need to get into and begin to create awareness around it, so that we can, ensure that some purposes are not aborted on the altar of love, that destinies are not thwarted. I remember something that Aristotle said. He said that educating the mind without educating the heart is no education at all. So it's becoming very critical that we step in as parents, step in as team mentors, and begin to teach teenagers, guide them on how to navigate this territory. I believe strongly that knowledge will dispel ignorance and equip them with the right tools to, make discerning choices when it comes to love and relationship. So that is why you are here, to know what you can do as a parent to, help your teenager to navigate love and relationship. Now, when it comes to teenage love, as a parent, as a teen coach, you need to understand a few things about teenagers' need for love. Number one is that love is a basic human need. Love is a basic human need. Is a psychological and emotional need for all humans, for both the young and the old. Love has to do with the need to connect, to have a sense of belonging, to have a sense of knowing that someone truly cares for you. So it's natural for people to want to be loved and want to love other people as well. In fact, research has shown that when infants are given birth to, if they are not touched or cared for a very long time, they are going to die. So it's very important for us to understand that love is an essential need for mankind. In fact, Abraham Maslow came up with an idea that focused on, he was trying to find out some of the essential needs that human beings have in order to be able to fulfill their potential. And he came up with what is now referred to as Maslow hierarchy of needs. And he put everything that he found into a triangle, and that triangle had 5 levels. And interestingly, the 3rd level on that triangle has to do with love and belonging. So it tells you how important love is to human existence. So if you are going to fulfill your potential, if you are going to live a satisfying life, you need love. So relationship, as it were, is an integral part of what makes us tick as humans. And love is the principle that governs relationship. Life is all about people. Life is all about relationship. In fact, human beings people are our greatest asset, as it were. But if we don't understand the concept of love and relationship, the truth is that we are not going to succeed in this aspect of our life. And that is why you see a whole lot of human problems stems from relationship. And that is why we need to equip our teenagers, educate them, and let them be properly guided in this area. Now, the second thing you need to understand as a parent when it comes to teenagers' need for love is that teenagers' need for love is a default setting. It's not their fault. Many times when teenagers express their love interest to their parents and tell their parents that they have maybe a crush or a romantic interest for the opposite sex, the way parents relate with those information, the way parents handle those information, does more harm than good. Many parents get angry when their children tell them, share those information with them. They get angry, they act shocked, they act surprised. They are like, why should you feel this way in spite of all that I've done for you? Don't you know you are putting my name is at stake? Don't you remember where you are coming from? In fact, some parents go as far as giving their children negative labels, calling them ashawo and all manner of names. But the truth is that you are angry with your child for having a feeling that is natural to humans. It is not their fault, it's their default setting. So parents get angry, they get upset, and some of them even go as far as punishing the children. I hear teenagers complain that they share their love interest with their parents, and the parents will beat them into pulp, and some will even go as far as grinding pepper and putting it inside the child's private parts just to ensure, telling the child, this will keep you sane, this will take all of these feelings away from you. No. All those punishment will not take those feelings away from that child. And when parents behave like this, you fail to think of what this child is facing. Do you stop to bother and ask yourself, how is this child taking the way I'm responding to this information? Because the child is clueless. The child doesn't know what to do. That is the simple truth. And when you act in this manner, it puts a strain on the parent-teen relationship, leaving a child that is helpless and clueless and leaving behind an angry parent. And unfortunately, this happens to be the common experience that you see around us. And it's not supposed to be so, because at this stage of this child's life, what the child needs most from the parents is support and guidance. And can I tell you something? Even though the child doesn't really understand what is going on with them, they enjoy it because those feelings are pleasurable. So what are you going to do? Your child is going to explore it. That teenager is going to explore those new ways of feeling, because human beings are created to move in the direction of what gives them pleasure. So, you understand what I'm trying to say, right? I remember having a group coaching section with a group of teenagers some time ago. This is just to buttress what I just said. And one of the teenagers stood up and said that she normally have this feeling of wanting a man or someone of the opposite sex to just rub his hand, to just touch her in a romantic way. That is something that she just wakes up to those feelings. And she was still very young. And that takes me to the next thing that we want to talk about now. Understanding the emotional landscape of teenagers. This is very important. Now, we need to understand that adolescence is that time when the teenager experiences puberty. And puberty comes with a lot of changes. A lot of developmental changes occur that affects the child physically, emotionally, and psychologically. Now, many times we don't pay attention to some of the things that happen during puberty. When puberty sets in, the child's sexual interest is awakened. They come alive, so to speak. They become more aware of that part of them as sexual beings, which they were not aware of before. Their romantic interest intensifies. And typically, they will seek ways to explore and express this newfound interest. And that is why you see them engage in things like flirting, masturbation, kissing, smooching, and even going all out to have sex. So if they are not properly guided, if they are not properly informed or taught on what to do with these emotions, with this newfound interest, they are going to be uninformed, they are likely to be misinformed, and it's going to affect the decisions and the choices they make, which many times have adverse effects on their life as a whole. Now, we need to understand that as parents, we have a role to play. Our duty is to ensure that we are there to provide and equip teenagers with the right information, because there are so many information out there. And many of this information are wrong information. So where would they get the right information from? They're going to get it from you and I, people who understand what they need to know. Do you ask yourself, why is it that nude pictures is becoming a trend among teenagers? Because when this new interest sets in, they don't know how to handle it. And then people come in and tell them, do you know, people tell teenagers, adults that they look up to, go as far as telling them that if they want to stop having menstrual cramps, the best way to, one of the cure to menstrual cramps is to have sex. These are some of the information that they get. And that is why we need to help them to understand exactly what is happening to them and how to navigate this territory. Now, the next thing that is so important is to discover the effects of the external influences. Now, a lot of factors influence how teenagers relate and interact with love and relationships. Some of them I will quickly mention to us is, number one, is family. The family system is a very significant influence on how teenagers perceive and relate with love and relationship. Now, the family system shapes the child's perception towards love and relationship. And if the family system can effectively equip the child with the right knowledge, it will help the child to ward off external influences. So when the internal influence is strong and solid, the child will have what it takes to be able to ward off external influences. That is the power of the law of first mention. The child is hearing it from their parents, so they have an understanding what they should do. Now, my question to you is, as a parent, what kind of information is your child getting from your family? Is your family culture shaping their mind towards healthy love and relationship? Or is it shaping their mind towards unhealthy love and relationship? Another major source of influence for teenagers is the social media, the media. The media is quite wide. We have the internet, radio, magazines, books, music, movies, the cartoons that they watch have a huge influence on how teenagers perceive love and relationships. And we need to pay attention. Another thing that influences them powerfully is peers, their peers. Their peers are their major influence because everything their peers do, the way they act, the way they think matters to them, because still one of the things about teenager is that they want to feel belong. They don't want to be left out. So if their peers are moving in a particular direction, they want to move in that direction, whether it is wrong or right, they don't care. So their peers have a huge influence on how they perceive love and relationship. Another very important factor that influences them is the pop culture. The pop culture, the celebrity culture is being promoted by social media today. And these celebrities are the voice of reasoning for our teenagers. They are their role models. They look up to them. They pattern their lives after them. And the unfortunate thing is that the average teenager does not know how to differentiate between what is right or wrong. They don't know how to separate popularity from wisdom. So they think because you are popular, you are trending, you are influential, it automatically means that you are wise. So everything these celebrities do, they pattern their lives after it. Do you wonder where your child is getting their new hairstyle from? Do you wonder where they are getting their new dress sense from? The same thing is applicable to their love and relationship. So if the celebrities that they are following have a particular pattern of kind of relationship, they see that as normal. So when they are having baby mamas, the teenagers see it as okay. If they're having boyfriend and girlfriend, they are cohabiting, whatever it is that they are doing when it comes to love and relationship, they consider it to be normal. So these people have huge influence on the teenagers. Another people that also influence them externally is the church, the religious bodies. They have a huge influence on them as well. The society as well have a huge influence on them. So let's quickly go to, having known all of that, how can you as a parent, as a teen coach, help your teenager navigate love and relationship? Number one is that we need to help our teenagers understand their emotions. As a parent, as a teen coach, you need to, educate yourself on some of the significant changes that happens during puberty. You need to understand how these changes affect their emotions and ultimately their behavior. A good understanding of this will help you to help the teenager navigate effectively. But unfortunately, if you do not have adequate knowledge regarding their emotion and their behaviors, you are going to be a disadvantage to them, because the teenager is looking up to you as a parent, as a teen coach, to be able to guide them, because they don't know. So you can imagine a situation where the teenager doesn't know what is going on with them. They don't have a clear understanding of what's happening to them, and you too don't have. So it's very important that you have an understanding of the significant changes that occur during adolescence and puberty and be able to help them. Some of the things that happen, some of the things that significant changes that occur in the teenager's brain during this period of development is that, like I mentioned earlier, they have heightened sexual interest. They begin to seek new experiences. They have this strong desire for connection and intimacy, having a sense of belonging with their peers. They search out for new experiences. They focus on, discovering themselves, building their identity. In fact, that becomes their major preoccupation. And they go after it with everything that is within them. Now, at that point, these changes begins to affect them in different ways. The childhood dependence on the parents begin to give way to a search for freedom, independence, and a sense of autonomy. Now, why, as a parent, you need to step away? you need to continue to build your relationship with your teenager even at this point. And these are some of the things that you can do as a parent. Yes, your child is going to pull away because they want to make sense of who they are and how they fit into this world. But a few things you can do to keep building your relationship with your teenager so you don't lose them is that you need to understand that they still need you. Yes, they do. They may not tell you, but they need you. So you have to let them know that you are there. They need you, but they need you in a different way. The second thing you need to do is to also understand that your teenager, you need to show them that you are interested in their welfare. You are interested in their well-being. You are not against them. You are for them. And it's important for you to know that why this is important for you to do, you need to do it in a way that is not intrusive or direct. Because the typical teenager is no longer a child like that. The teenager is no longer a child that will come to you sharing every information with you. No. At this stage of development, they now want their own privacy. And, they want you to respect their privacy. So, the other thing you also need to do is to be there for them and let them know that you are there to listen when they need you. Let them know that they can come to you. And when you tell your teenager that, even if they don't say anything to you, they will come to you when they need you. And they will tell you why they are coming to you. Now, beyond that is the fact that you also need to have what I call check-in. Check in on your teenagers from time to time. Be observant. Pay attention. Be present. Know what is happening to them. What that will do for you is that from your keen interest and observation, you can be able to pick some red flags that points to the fact that your teenager may be dealing with something or something may be dealing with them. At that point, even when your teenager is not opening up to you, you can step in and express your concern based on what you have observed and find a way to get them to share what is going on with them with you. This is very important. Another thing you need to do in helping your teenager, navigate their romantic interests is to let them know that their romantic feelings is not synonymous with love. Love is not a feeling. There's a lot more to love than feelings. But let them know that this is God-given. There is a reason why this feeling is coming at this time. It tells them that they are normal, that everything is going on well with them, and they are developing as sexual beings. Let them know that they can have these feelings, but they are primarily responsible for what they do with how they feel. They may not choose how they feel, but they should choose what they do with how they feel. So you need to teach your teenager how to manage this feeling. You need to help them to starve and not pursue this feeling. Let them know that this feeling is not something they can build their future around. It's not something they can build their future around. So their goal is not to feed on and pursue this feeling. Their goal is to starve this feeling. Because their future doesn't depend on these feelings. These feelings have an expiration date. So you need to let your teenager know how to manage with and cope with this feeling and not allow these feelings to destroy them. We have seen teenagers that pursue their love interests, and trust me, it doesn't end well. It doesn't end well because they have not gotten to that place where they can handle it. Now, the next thing that we need to focus on is how to tackle external influences. What can you do? How do you help your teenager tackle external influences? One of the things you can do is to teach your family core values. Core values are so important. Family core values are so important. When you build a strong internal influence through your family core values, it will help to cope and ward off external influences. This is how it works. Your family core values are the principle and the ethics that governs your thoughts, your opinion, and the decisions that you make in life. So when you have your family core values, it becomes a template for your teenagers to also build their own core value. So it gets to the point where it's no longer about what we do as a family. It is now what I do as an individual, but they need that template to come from you. So your family core values become a life compass to guide them in making decisions, in making choices, in what they allow in what they say yes to and what they say no to. Your family core value is so important. So as your teenager navigates love and relationship, they are going to meet with people from different backgrounds, different ideologies, different belief systems, but their core values, that the one you have given to them, is what will help them to be able to distinguish between healthy relationship and unhealthy relationship. Now, let me tell you something again about core values. It is very important that we have our core values written out, very important. But even when you don't have your core values written out, your actions, your inactions, your behavior, the way you speak in your home is also telling your child the kind of core value that you represent, that you appreciate or value. Now, for example, if in your home you have love, you have love for one another, this can be expressed as sacrifice. You are committed to one another, you value one another, you respect one another, you honor one another, you are ready to go the extra mile for one another. You are, if this is something that you depict in your actions on a regular basis, if this is something you espouse, you are already showing your child what the right kind of values that build healthy relationship. If on the other hand, what is mostly expressed in your home is fights, quarrels, incessant arguments, selfishness, a lack of connection, a lack of commitment, everybody's just doing whatever they like, you are also expressing a particular value system to your child. But this one is depicting an unhealthy relationship, healthy love and relationship. So our core values are so important because our children are going to take in whatever it is that they see from our homes, whatever they see from their parents. And can I tell you something that is really worrisome? Many teenagers are making up their mind that they don't want to get into marriage. And when you ask them why, they will tell you that what they see their parents have is not what they want to have. That is a food for thought. Think about it. Is your family value such that is encouraging your child and making them look forward to relationships like marriage? Or is it one that is discouraging them? I know there are so many other factors that can contribute to, what they want to do with love and relationship. But let's focus on the one that concerns us the most. The next thing you need to do to help your teenager tackle external influences is to teach them love and relationship education. This is so key, something that we need to start doing. And when I talk about love and relationship education, it's not just you giving your children lectures on love and relationship. It's you having a conversation with them where they are fully involved, where you give them the opportunity to openly and honestly share their thoughts on some of these concerns without feeling judged, without feeling rejected, without feeling condemned. So it's something that you need to begin to do in your home, teaching them love and relationship. And you start from what they know to what they don't know. It will amaze you what your teenager know. And the next thing you need to do, helping them navigate external influences, is to be a role model. Walk your talk. Let your actions align with your values. Don't say one thing and do another thing. Role model is so key in helping teenagers to navigate, because do as I say is an obsolete statement in this generation. Your child will give deaf ears to what they hear you say, and they will pay attention to what they see you do. So modeling is teaching without instruction, and is undoubtedly the most effective when it comes to young people. So model. If you want your child to be chaste, then be chaste. Whatever it is that you want your child, you want to see in your child, model it. Walk your talk. Another thing you need to do is to create a safe haven where questions, opinions are shared and answered without judgment, without labeling or insult. There are so many conversations on love and relationship. In their time and age, it's not the time for you to, shut them down or tell them they don't know anything. You need to create that space where your child is safe to share their concerns with you. Because there are a lot of things going on among their peers that they are confused about. And if you don't give them that opportunity, they won't share it with you. And I can tell you that there are so many controversial issues out there on how things should be done when it comes to love and relationship. Do you know that clubbing is now a trend among teenagers? A few months ago, when one of our children came back from school, one of our primary focus was on clubbing. And we had that conversation for many days. She was coming with different questions about clubbing and the believer's perspective, what the scripture says, and so many questions around it. They have questions about dating. They have questions about LGBTQ. So you can't shut them down. You need to know what their views are about these topics. You need to know about what their perceptions are. Because your view is not the world view. They have their own views as well. And you need to pay attention, because it is in paying attention that you will know what they believe that is wrong and be able to know what to teach them. But if you don't know, if you don't pay attention, you are not going to know what your child knows that needs to be corrected. So now, let's move to building healthy bonds and boundaries. Now, it's very important for you to know that in helping your child to navigate love and relationship, you need to build strong bonds with them. You need to stay connected. And this comes by the kind of relationship that you portray from your home. Your family is your child's first love story. Everything about love and relationship, they are going to learn it from home. So your home is a citadel of learning. Your actions, your inactions is either portraying healthy love and relationship or unhealthy love and relationship. Either of them. Either of them. It can either be healthy or toxic. And when children are exposed to healthy love and relationship, it supports them. It helps them to navigate their life smoothly. It helps them to do well in the academics. Because do you know many children are traumatized? I go to school to talk to these children. At the end of every group coaching section, you see teenagers coming to meet with you. And their issues is that they are having a lot of issues from home. I've had to deal with teenagers who have gotten to the place where the only option they have is to commit suicide. Because they can't cope from home. There's a lot of dysfunctionality from home. So we need to build healthy bonds with our children from home. It helps their mental health. It helps them to be stable. It helps them to stay focused in planning and pursuing their own future. But when everything is wrong at home, it affects the child. And many times they don't know how to come and tell you, because when they tell you, you are not even going to pay attention to them. So they look for other people to talk to. Family relationships are so powerful. We need to build strong connections with our children. Many times we focus on just correcting the child's behavior, that we lose our relationships with them. Our focus is not just to correct the child. Our focus is to connect with the child, to correct a misbehavior. This is so important. It's like so many other things rest on this. Now, boundaries are another thing that we need to teach our children to, because every healthy love and relationship is built on healthy boundaries. Many teenagers don't understand boundaries. And when you tell them about boundaries, they feel like boundaries is going to destroy their relationship and they want to hold on to their relationship. So because they feel that like boundary is not good for their relationship, it's going to tell their friends that they don't like them. No, you need to teach our children that boundaries is good for them. Boundaries are like the fence that you have in your home. It protects you. It keeps you safe. It helps you to know what to keep in and what to keep out. Boundaries help your teenagers to know what to say yes to and what to say no to. Boundary is a tool for self-preservation. It keeps your children from abusive relationships, from being hurt by people, from being manipulated and taken advantage of. The last love and relationship mastery class that I did for teenagers, a large number of the teenagers that came in for the one-on-one coaching, they didn't come in for romantic relationship issues. They came in for platonic relationship with their peers is what was hurting them. And many of them were because they did not have boundaries and they were being taken advantage of by their friends. When your teenager allows unhealthy treatment from their peers, from their friends, it affects their self-esteem. It affects how they perceive themselves. And many teenagers have very low self-esteem. And a lack of boundary contributes to it because boundaries are so key to building healthy relationships. Now, the other thing that we really need to teach our children is teach them healthy channels of love expression. This is so important, and I need you to pay attention. Love has different expressions. Our teenagers need to know that there are different ways love can be expressed. There are different channels through which love can be expressed. And they need to know who they're receiving a certain kind of love from and how they are expressing love to other people. Teenagers need to know that there are certain love expressions they should not receive from their siblings, their parents, family members. I heard a very troubling story today in church from our pastor. And he talked about how a teenager, a young adult, told him that she's in love with her father. Her father, yes. And she was proud about it. She told him that she has had like 2 abortions for her father. And to make matters worse, the mother goes around calling this girl the father's girlfriend. Now, if this child has taken my course, she will know that there's a kind of love expression that she cannot receive from her father. But because she doesn't know, she's taking pride in it. So she dresses up with the father. The mother will tell them goodbye, see you, and she'll go out with the father, hang out, sleep, go to hotels, sleep with the father, come back home. Do you understand what I'm talking about? Do you understand why love and relationship education is key for our children? There are some love expression teenagers should not receive from their siblings. But because they don't know, they grow up in family settings where this is normal. And they take it in. And then in adulthood, it begins to affect them. Because it has robbed them of their dignity. They know that this is not right. But because they don't know how to express the wrongness of this behavior, they see it as right. And they continue with it. So we need to teach our children that love has different expressions. We also need to model love at home. Love and relationship begins at home. I've said it. Our family unit is the first line of human relationship every child is exposed to. And when we expose them to healthy love and relationship, their emotional tank is full. And your child is effectively equipped to be able to know the kind of love to give to other people and the kind of love to receive from others. So they will not be victims of abuse because they know what to tolerate and what they cannot tolerate. Many teenagers today are comfortable in abusive romantic relationships because they don't know better. When your child experiences healthy love from home, they are well equipped to be able to deal with love, to relate with love and relationship from the place of experience, from the place of understanding, from the place of wisdom. Because something have been mirrored to them. They can see, they know what love and relationship looks like. They know what healthy relationship looks like. And they know what unhealthy one doesn't look like. Create the right environment where their need for love can be met by family members and other friends. Let's teach our children that their emotional need for love can not only be met by romantic relationships. I tell teenagers that if you don't succeed in your platonic relationship, you can't succeed in your romantic relationships. Let teenagers believe that romantic love is superior to platonic love. When we allow them to have free interaction with the opposite sex, healthy interaction with the opposite sex, it demystifies the notion, the perception that their need for love can only be met by the opposite sex in a romantic relationship. And that goes a long way.
Huh?
Yes.
Daddy. Huh?
Please mute yourself, please. So create the right environment for the child to have their need for love met by other family members. You also need to create a safe place where they can bring their friends home. Parents will need to do this. Teenagers are complaining. Their friends cannot only be female or same sex. We need to give them that space where they can bring their friends home so that you can know the kind of friends that your child is interacting with. Create that roadmap that will help them to build healthy relationship with other people, positive connections, very, very important. Teach them and model healthy relationships to them where male and female grow together as ordained by nature's law. And very importantly, or more importantly rather, is that we need to teach them to understand and receive God's love, which is the ultimate gift to mankind. Now, God's love is so important, is the perfect love. Is the perfect love. It's the constant in the whole equation called love. God's love is the constant. So we need to teach our children how to receive God's love, which is the ultimate gift. Now, Aristotle said something quite profound. Educating the mind without educating the child, the heart, is no education at all. So if we are going to help your teenager to navigate love and relationship effectively, we need to invest in providing them with the right resources. It's time for us to pay attention to educating them on relationship matters and not assume they should know what to do. We need to be intentional about what they know about love and relationships. When the concept of a thing is not properly taught or wrongly defined, the practice of it cannot be right. There are wrong concepts of love and relationships from media, from the pop culture, from peers, sometimes even from home. Like I just told you, I just shared that story with you. It can come from home as well. And that is why it is very important that you invest in your child's knowledge, in training them on love and relationship. And that's why we put together this, our love and relationship mastery course for teenagers. It's something like I told you earlier, I've been teaching teenagers for years on this particular course. And I can tell you that the benefit is huge. There is no teenager that have taken this course, their life can never remain the same again. It's an online course and is specially prepared and packaged for your teenagers. Now, the course I highlight is that this course will empower your teenagers to understand the concept of love and relationship so as to thrive in their relationship. They will understand the dynamics of love versus illusions. They will gain valuable insights into the intricacies of healthy and unhealthy relationships. They will understand the channels of love expressions. They will discover healthy ways to meet the emotional need for love. They will explore romantic love and the teenager's brain. They will also gain valuable tools and skills to build thriving relationships. And the bonus offer is that they would have a one-on-one coaching with me for 1 month. Now, the investment for this course is just 6,999 Naira only. And this course, like I said, is an online course. It's for 2 days. It's going to go live on the 25th and 26th of April. And it's for teenagers 13 to 16 years. So this offer is open for the next 48 hours. This course, with everything that we have put together, is worth 20,000 Naira. But we are giving it to you at 6,999 Naira only. So we need you to take advantage of this offer now and enjoy the bonus that comes with it within the next 48 hours, after which it will go back to its original price, which is 10,000 Naira. Now, I'll tell you this. This is not something that you should sleep on. This is something you should act on immediately, because the life of your teenager is dependent on this. I heard a story a few days ago about a 100-level student of Kogi State University who committed suicide because the boyfriend dumped her. This is a regular trend now among young people. They don't know how to deal with issues like that. They don't have the willpower, they don't have the resilience to handle emotional heartbreaks. And this is the reason why we need to take this seriously, because a lot of the decisions that teenagers are making today is hinged on their misconstrued concept of love and relationship. Why should a teenager commit suicide because she was served breakfast? This is normal. Let me tell you another one. In one of the towns in India, there is this story that happened. A teenager, a 15-year-old teenager with her boyfriend, her boyfriend is 19 years old. Both of them were dating. And the father of this girl was not in agreement with their dating. Remember what I told you about how parents handled their children's love interests. So this man was very angry about their dating relationship. He seized the daughter's phone. And this girl was so annoyed. And she wanted to get her freedom back. You know what she did? She planned with the boyfriend to murder the father. And they carried out that act straight. That is how far teenagers can go in order to protect their love interests. So when we are talking about some of the decisions that teenagers make because of their love interests, it's not just for us to sell market. No, it is for us to save the next generation that is self-destroying because they don't have the adequate knowledge. They don't have the right knowledge. A few days ago, somebody met me in church and was telling me about how her 13-year-old sister, her nude picture was all over internet. Her 13-year-old was sleeping around with an older man who requested for her nude pictures. She sent these nude pictures to him, and this man started using those nude pictures to scam her. He uploaded the nude pictures on social media. The school got to know about it, and now that girl is expelled from school. She has been stealing the mother's money to pay this scammer because she thought that by so doing, the guy would bring down the nude pictures. Teenagers can go to whatever extent. You know why? They don't know how to manage their emotion, and somebody needs to teach them. If they are not taught how to manage their emotions will be all over the place. And that is why you see them do all manner of things in that digital space, because they have not been taught. So parents, teen mentors, if you have a teenager that you love, kindly register them for this course. It's not something that you need to think for too long for. Don't overthink this, because this investment fee is something that we can all spend on our hair. We can just walk into the suya spot and just spend 10,000 and buy the suya, and we walk away. So why don't you invest it in your child's future? And trust me, you won't regret it. So you can take the account details. It will be sent on the WhatsApp platform as well. So you make payment, send proof of payment to that WhatsApp number, and then secure your spot. These are the detailed mode of payment and the details for the payment. Love and relationship is a huge issue for teenagers. Don't joke with it. Don't trivialize it. Teenagers can go to whatever extent to protect their love interests and to pursue it secretly. But if we are wise as parents, which I believe we all are, our duty is to equip them with the right tools, with the right knowledge, with the right skills to be able to navigate love and relationship effectively.